Every 40 seconds, someone suffers a stroke. Every 3.5 minutes, someone dies from it. But here's what no one's telling seniors. Your bathroom habits could be the hidden trigger. 99% of seniors have no idea that simple routines, like how you pee, how long you sit, or how you breathe while wiping, can spike stroke risk by over 300%. That's right. The place you visit several times a day might be silently increasing your stroke risk by 300%, especially after age 65, and most doctors never ask about it. But researchers have been sounding the alarm for years. These daily routines affect blood pressure, artery stiffness, brain oxygen, and more. In this video, we will reveal the 7 silent bathroom habits ranked from the least dangerous to the deadliest, and how each one could quietly skyrocket your stroke risk by up to 300%. Stick around, because habit number 1 is the one almost every senior does daily. Yet, this habit alone can cause a 90 millimeters of mercury surge in blood pressure. That's enough to burst a weakened artery in your brain. It can trigger a stroke in under 10 minutes, according to new studies. All of the information in this video is backed by intense scientific research by our team, and you can find every single reference linked in the description below. This isn't guesswork. These are real facts that could change your life. Now, here's our question for you. What did you eat for breakfast today? Tell us about your full breakfast today in the comments. We'll examine each thing you mention and reply with what to add or remove. We're reading and replying to every single comment. Now, without any further ado, let's start with habit number 7, and why it's slowly damaging your brain every single morning. Number 7. Rushing through morning urination without fully emptying the bladder. This might sound harmless, but it's far from it. A study published in the International Urogynecology journal revealed that incomplete bladder emptying can raise systolic blood pressure by up to 30 millimeters of mercury, a direct stroke risk amplifier. Here's what's happening. When you don't fully empty your bladder, your body remains in a mild state of fight or flight. It activates the sympathetic nervous system. This keeps blood pressure elevated, tightens arteries, and restricts oxygen flow to the brain. Over time, this increases the chance of plaque rupture and stroke. And here's the kicker. In seniors over 65, the detrusor muscle, the bladder muscle that helps push urine out, weakens by nearly 50%. That means even if you think you're done, you probably aren't. Urine retention can quietly build up. The European Urology Review confirmed that in older adults, post-void residual urine is common, yet rarely noticed until complications happen. But what does that have to do with stroke? Everything. Because chronic retention forces the kidneys to work harder. This leads to elevated renin-angiotensin activity, which spikes blood pressure and accelerates arterial aging. Your body essentially enters a pressure storm every single morning without you knowing it. Here's how to fix it. Don't rush. After urinating, pause for 10 seconds, then try again. This simple double voiding method can reduce bladder pressure by up to 60%, according to the National Institute on Aging. If you're male and have an enlarged prostate, talk to your doctor about alpha blockers. They relax bladder muscles. For women, pelvic floor therapy helps, especially after childbirth or menopause. Number 6. Brushing teeth only once a day or skipping it at night. Sounds unrelated, right? But science says otherwise. Your mouth is one of the most dangerous places for stroke to begin, and it happens silently. Researchers at the University of South Carolina found that seniors who brushed only once a day had a 70% higher risk of stroke compared to those who brushed twice. That's almost double the danger, just from skipping a night brush. Here's what's happening. When you don't brush at night, plaque builds up overnight. Plaque is filled with bacteria, and those bacteria don't stay in your mouth. They leak into your bloodstream through tiny cuts in your gums, especially if you have gingivitis or periodontitis. which over 50% of adults over 65 do. Once inside, the bacteria trigger inflammation in your arteries. That inflammation makes your blood thicker, stickier, and more likely to form clots. And clots are the #1 cause of ischemic strokes. This isn't just theory. A 2019 study in Stroke, the official journal of the American Heart Association, found that people with gum disease were twice as likely to suffer a stroke, even after controlling for smoking, blood pressure, and age. That's how powerful oral bacteria are. They sneak into the bloodstream and literally attack the lining of your arteries, a condition called endothelial dysfunction. That lining is your brain's first defense, and once it's damaged, blood clots can form fast. Now, why does this matter more in the bathroom? Because brushing technique, frequency, and when you brush matter more than most people think. Most seniors brush once a day, usually in the morning. But that does nothing for the 8 hours of bacterial growth happening while you sleep. At night, your saliva production drops, giving bacteria the perfect playground. You need to brush before bed, not just in the morning. And you need to use a soft, bristled toothbrush with gentle pressure. If you're brushing too hard, you're opening up even more gum cuts, giving bacteria a direct path into your arteries. And here's a surprise. Your toothpaste matters too. The Journal of Periodontal Research found that toothpaste with stannous fluoride reduced stroke-linked inflammation markers, like C-reactive protein, by over 40% in older adults. That's huge. Switching to a dentist-recommended anti-gingivitis paste can have systemic effects beyond your gums. Don't forget the tongue either. Bacterial colonies form thick coatings there overnight. Use a tongue scraper, not just your brush. It removes up to 78% more volatile sulfur compounds than brushing alone, according to a Japanese study on oral hygiene in aging adults. And floss. It's not optional. Seniors who floss daily have a 24% lower risk of stroke, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It's because flossing removes the exact plaque that leaks bacteria into your blood. Think of it like this. If you had a cut on your skin, would you rub bacteria into it every day? That's what happens when you skip flossing. Number 5. Using the toilet first thing while dehydrated. This is a silent killer. Most seniors don't realize the danger of urinating right after waking up without drinking anything first. But the science is terrifying. When you wake up, your body is at its most dehydrated state of the day. Your blood is thicker, your arteries are tighter, and your heart is working overtime to push that sludge-like blood through narrowed vessels. Now, add straining during urination, and you've got a recipe for disaster. A study published in The Lancet revealed that stroke risk increases by over 80% in the early morning hours. And dehydration is a big reason why. Overnight, you lose water through breathing, sweating, and urinating. Your blood volume drops, and when you rush to the toilet before rehydrating, the sudden position change, combined with low blood volume and straining, causes a dangerous drop in cerebral perfusion. That means your brain isn't getting enough blood. And in seniors with existing plaque or arterial narrowing, that drop can trigger a full-blown ischemic stroke. But that's not all. According to researchers at the University of Tokyo, morning dehydration can increase platelet aggregation by 30%. Translation: your blood clots faster, and clots cause strokes. So, when you wake up, stumble to the toilet and push out urine with a dry body. You're putting enormous pressure on your heart, brain, and blood vessels. Now, here's the worst part. Seniors often have a blunted thirst reflex. That means your body doesn't send strong signals telling you to drink water, even when you need it badly. So, you may not feel dehydrated, but your body is. That's why strokes are so common in the morning hours for older adults. It's not just coincidence. It's poor morning routine. Here's what to do instead. Before you even leave the bed, drink at least 300 to 500 milliliters of water. Keep a glass or bottle by your bedside. Make it the first thing that hits your system. This immediately improves blood viscosity and prevents sudden drops in brain perfusion when you stand. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that drinking water before standing up reduces orthostatic hypotension, a common cause of falls and strokes, by up to 61% in adults over 65. And if you feel lightheaded while urinating in the morning, that's a red flag. Your brain isn't getting enough oxygen. Sit down on the toilet. Don't strain. Let your body relax and take slow breaths. If you ever feel your vision narrow or your ears ring after standing or peeing, that's not just getting older. It's a stroke warning sign. Number 4. Taking long hot showers in the morning without cooling down. It sounds comforting. A long hot shower to relax stiff joints and get the day started. But for seniors, this routine could be increasing your stroke risk in ways you never imagined, especially if you're skipping the cool down at the end. Here's the science. Hot showers cause rapid vasodilation. That means your blood vessels open wide. This drops your blood pressure fast. Now, if you're already on blood pressure medication, the effect is even more intense. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology showed that seniors exposed to hot water for just 15 minutes saw their systolic blood pressure drop by over 20 millimeters of mercury. That kind of drop can sound good until you realize what happens next. When you step out of the hot shower into cooler air, your blood vessels suddenly constrict again. That bounce back, called vasoconstriction, pushes your blood pressure right back up. But now, it's chaotic. Your body is trying to balance temperature and pressure at once. And during that chaos, if there's any plaque buildup or arterial narrowing, your risk of triggering a clot increases sharply. In fact, a 2015 study out of Finland found that people who routinely took long hot showers without cooling down were twice as likely to suffer early morning strokes, especially those over 65. Why? Because that shift from hot to cold and the dramatic pressure swings increase shear stress on your blood vessels. That stress can rupture weak spots in artery walls or dislodge plaques. It's like shaking the soda can that's already cracked. Eventually, something breaks. And it gets worse. Hot water causes you to sweat, but in the bathroom, you might not notice because it evaporates. That hidden sweating can dehydrate you further, thickening your blood and increasing clot risk. Combine that with the vasodilation and constriction cycle, and your arteries are going through a storm before you even leave the house. So, how do you fix it? You don't have to skip the shower, but you must end with 30 seconds of lukewarm or cool water. This helps stabilize your blood vessels, regulate pressure, and ease the transition to room temperature. According to research published in Temperature Austin, this simple cool-down reduces the risk of post-shower dizziness, stroke, and falls in seniors by over 50%. Also, avoid standing still in one position under the water too long. That causes blood to pool in your legs, decreasing circulation to your brain. Keep moving gently. Shift your feet, and always sit down on a shower bench or ledge if you feel even slightly lightheaded. Number 3. Straining during bowel movements. This one is deadly and shockingly common. Over 40% of seniors over 65 suffer from chronic constipation, and many of them strain hard just to pass stool. But here's the brutal truth. Straining while sitting on the toilet doesn't just raise blood pressure. It can literally rupture a blood vessel in your brain. The groundbreaking study published in Stroke, the official journal of the American Heart Association, found that intense straining during bowel movements increases the risk of intracerebral hemorrhage by over 300%. That's a bleeding stroke, the most dangerous kind. Why? Because when you push too hard, you activate what's called the Valsalva maneuver. That's when you hold your breath and bear down like lifting something heavy. It causes a sharp spike in blood pressure, sometimes jumping by over 50 millimeters of mercury in just seconds. For a healthy young person, the body can handle that surge. But in seniors with stiff arteries or plaque buildup, that sudden burst can be catastrophic. One tiny weak spot in a vessel wall, and it can burst. The damage is instant. No warning, no second chance. But the problem doesn't end there. Straining also increases intracranial pressure. That means the pressure inside your skull rises while you're on the toilet. Combined with a rise in blood pressure and decreased oxygen flow, this creates the perfect storm. And it doesn't take years to build up. It can happen in a single episode. Here's what makes this habit even more dangerous. Most seniors sit on a standard height toilet, but that position actually works against your body's natural design. When your knees are at a 90 angle, your colon is kinked. This makes it harder to pass stool, forcing you to strain. But when you raise your feet using a footstool or squat position, your colon straightens out. This reduces the need to push. To fix this, hydration is key. Aim for at least 1.5 to 2 L of water daily. Add fiber-rich foods like chia seeds, oats, or prunes because they soften stool. Prunes are proven to improve bowel regularity by up to 60%, according to research from the University of Iowa. And movement matters too. A simple 10-minute morning walk increases gut motility. That's the wave-like motion your intestines use to push food along. The more it moves, the less you need to push. Also, avoid sitting on the toilet for long periods. It increases the risk of hemorrhoids and signals your brain to get comfortable while in a high-pressure state. Get in, do your business, get out. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 2. Sitting too long on the toilet scrolling your phone. You've probably done it. Everyone has. You bring your phone into the bathroom, scroll a little, check the news, answer messages. But for seniors, this habit isn't harmless. It's dangerous. It increases your risk of stroke in multiple ways, and it does it silently. Here's why. First, sitting still for extended periods reduces blood flow to your brain. That's especially true in a squatting or seated toilet position. When your knees are bent and your lower abdomen is compressed, venous return slows down. That means blood from your lower body isn't circulating properly. Blood pools in the legs, and brain perfusion drops. A study published in Neuroepidemiology found that adults over 60 who remained seated for more than 15 minutes in a static position experienced a significant drop in cerebral blood flow, up to 17%. That's a massive reduction. Your brain needs steady blood and oxygen to prevent clot formation and vascular injury. And when flow drops, stroke risk goes up fast. Now, add in the straining and postural issues we covered earlier, and the risk multiplies. But there's more. The phone itself causes problems. Why? Because scrolling triggers what's called sympathetic nervous system activation. That means your stress response kicks in, even if you're reading something mild. The brain sees screen light and input as stimulation. That raises your heart rate, tightens blood vessels, and causes blood pressure spikes, especially in older adults with pre-existing cardiovascular conditions. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Psychology showed that just 10 minutes of phone scrolling raised heart rate and systolic blood pressure in seniors by up to 15%. So now, while you're sitting still, cutting off blood flow to the brain, you're also raising internal pressure through mental stimulation. That combo is deadly. It gets worse. Most people tilt their heads down sharply while looking at their phones on the toilet. That posture compresses the vertebral arteries, two crucial vessels that feed blood directly into the brainstem and cerebellum. These areas control vital functions like balance, heartbeat, and breathing. Tilt your head too far for too long, and you're literally squeezing off blood to those areas. And if those vessels are already narrowed with age or plaque, you're setting up a silent strike. Add in the fact that seniors often have orthostatic hypotension. A sudden drop in blood pressure when standing, and you've now sat too long. Raised your pressure while lowering blood flow, and then stood up too fast. That's the stroke cocktail, and it all starts with scrolling on the toilet. So, how do you break the habit? First, leave your phone outside the bathroom. Make it non-negotiable. Your bathroom should be a zero distraction zone. Set a timer if needed. If you're in there longer than 5 to 7 minutes, you're already over the safe limit. Second, focus on posture. Sit upright. Keep your neck straight. If you must read something, use printed material at eye level. But ideally, don't read at all. This is your time to eliminate, not engage. Third, move after. Walk for 2 to 3 minutes immediately after using the toilet. This resets circulation, improves brain oxygen, and normalizes pressure. A study from Age and Aging found that a brief walk after sitting reduced stroke risk markers in seniors by over 30%. And finally, listen to your body. If you feel tingling in the legs, lightheadedness, or blurry vision after standing, these aren't small things. They're warnings. Don't ignore them. Number 1. Holding your breath while straining or standing up quickly. This one is deadly fast, and nearly every senior does it without realizing. You go to stand up from the toilet, or you're struggling with balance. You brace, you hold your breath. But that simple breath hold triggers a dangerous chain reaction inside your body. And for seniors, it can lead to a fatal brain event in seconds. It's called the Valsalva maneuver. That's the medical term for what happens when you bear down or hold your breath during effort. It's natural, but extremely risky, especially in the bathroom. When you hold your breath, you trap pressure inside your chest. That pressure immediately reduces blood returning to your heart, which lowers cardiac output. Then your brain doesn't get the oxygen it needs. Then suddenly, your body rebounds, overcompensates, and your blood pressure spikes like a rocket. A study published in Clinical Cardiology showed that this maneuver, holding your breath during effort, can cause a systolic blood pressure surge of up to 90 millimeters of mercury. That's instant. It's like launching a grenade inside your arteries. And if you've got plaque, narrowing, or a weak vessel wall, that pressure burst can rupture it. That's how a stroke starts, in seconds. Now, let's look at standing up quickly. For most seniors, especially those with orthostatic hypotension, blood pressure already drops the moment you stand. Your body needs time to regulate. But when you hold your breath, stand quickly, and strain at the same time, you're setting off every stroke trigger at once. Your brain gets hit with low oxygen, then massive pressure, then confusion. And that's when clots form or vessels burst. According to the British Journal of General Practice, older adults who regularly stand too quickly from seated positions, especially from the toilet, have a 2.5 times greater risk of stroke-related collapse or vascular injury. The combination of positional pressure shifts and breath holding is what makes this number 1. It's the perfect storm, and it happens every day. But here's the part no one talks about. Most seniors lose respiratory strength with age. Their diaphragm weakens, their lungs become stiffer, so they hold their breath more often without even realizing. Whether it's during wiping, reaching, straining, or standing, it becomes a reflex. But it's not harmless, it's deadly. So, how do you fix it? First, retrain your breathing. Practice exhaling slowly as you stand. Don't brace and hold. Inhale deeply before you move, then exhale steadily during effort. This lowers internal pressure and keeps oxygen flowing to your brain. Second, move slower. Rise from the toilet in stages. Pause after sitting. Place your hands on your thighs. Exhale as you stand. Use a grab bar if needed. The American Stroke Association reports that seniors who stand slowly and breathe correctly reduce their stroke risk by over 60%. That's massive. Third, stay mindful. If you notice yourself holding your breath during bathroom tasks, pause and reset. Sit back down if needed. Never push through dizziness or visual blackouts. That's your brain screaming for oxygen. Finally, consider support devices. A raised toilet seat, a safety rail, or a toilet frame can make all the difference. If your muscles are weak, you're more likely to brace and hold breath. By reducing strain, you reduce the urge to clench. One last thing, check your medications. If you're on blood pressure meds or diuretics, you're even more at risk. These lower your baseline pressure, which means the spikes and drops become more extreme. Talk to your doctor if you've had any fainting, lightheadedness, or head rushes after bathroom use. Those are red flags. This is why habit number 1 matters most, because it happens every day. It's invisible, automatic, but deadly. Holding your breath, rushing to stand, pushing through toilet tasks. This habit builds silent pressure. Then one day, it hits, and it hits hard. These 7 habits may seem small, but for seniors, they add up. Each one pushes your body closer to a critical threshold, and when that threshold is passed, stroke strikes. No warning, no mercy. But you're not powerless. Change your bathroom habits, and you change your brain's future. Hydrate first, breathe steady, slow down, clean smart, move with awareness. These aren't just hygiene routines, they're life or death rituals after 65. And now you know the truth. So let us ask you, have you ever felt dizzy, lightheaded, or had a blackout moment in the bathroom? Let us know in the comments below. Your story might help someone else. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you. Share it with a loved one over 60. And subscribe for more science-backed health tips that no one else is talking about. Your brain is worth protecting, even in the bathroom. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.